today's video is going to be the first TBR video for January of 2026 and for the year 2026. So today we are going to be picking out my January TBR for the new year. I have like a tentative list as usual, and today I'm going to be selecting from the TBR envelopes because I haven't done this in a while. So I really wanted to do that. They're all like completely random. I don't know what TBR prompts are in each envelope, and they're pretty random. I didn't decide to sort them because I'm too lazy. So we are going to use the random number generator this time because I never use it. And I use the spinner wheel like all the time. So let's go ahead and generate our first number. I think I'm going to do 8 numbers to see what prompts we get. And yeah, let's just go ahead. We're going to set it from 1 to 23 because I have 23 envelopes. So let's go ahead and pick the first one. So the first one we have is 14. So let's go ahead and find 14. It's right here. At least we didn't have to look too long, and it's not a big deal if I don't like close my eyes, because obviously I don't know which one we're going to be picking. All right, let's pick this one because that's the first one that I got. And the first one we have is a witchy romance. I don't know if I'm going to have any witchy romances on my TBR for this month, because it's so funny that like these were like more Halloween themed prompts. I think we're going to pick one different one out of the same envelope. We're already starting off like amazingly, like 10 out of 10. All right, let's see what this one is. I don't know if it's another fall one. Okay, New York Times bestseller. I do this one a lot. It's so funny how I ended up drawing this one now a third time, because I add this one to the jar quite a bit, because it's a good way for me to pick a pretty general prompt, and also like this one is usually pretty easy for me to do. I really want to pick a Kristen Hanna book because I've been kind of in the mood to read one of her books this month, because I kind of put her off for a while, and I'm pretty sure that any of her books would be a New York Times bestseller, and I've been really getting into the mood to read this one lately. So I'm going to put The Women by Kristen Hanna on my list as my first pick for my TBR. So we're just going to pick that. I'm not going to put it back because I really am getting in the mood to start one of her books this year, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be on my 26 and 2026 list as well. I want to read at least one of her books in January, because I put them off for quite a while because her books are just so emotional that I put off her books for like months. But I haven't read a Kristen Hanna book since last June. I think I'm ready at this point. I gave myself 3 to 6 business months in order to shed my tears, so I'm ready to pick up another one of her books. Okay, let's go ahead and generate our second number. So we have the number 3. So 3, let's go ahead and find that one. So how was your New Year's? I hope you had a good one. Mine was pretty chill. I just spent it with my friends. And then I came home a little bit before midnight so I could count down with my mom and my dad and my brother. And yeah, that was it. We just played board games and drank some wine, and it was great. And we also played the new Mario Kart because my friend brought his Switch 2 over, so that was really fun. So we have the number 3 envelope, and let's go ahead and pick our second prompt. Technically our third, because we already picked 2, but I'm not doing a witchy romance this month, so sorry. Okay, we have magical. That's a very general one. So we could pick a lot of the ones that I have on my list this month, because I put quite a few fantasy books on my TBR. I think I'm going to pick, because I have a couple off of my cart that didn't exactly fit, because they're a little too tall to fit on the actual shelves. So let's go ahead and pick a different one. Also, there's not really, I mean, look this one up. There's not really many new releases that are coming out in January that I'm really like needing to read. So January is usually not a heavy new release month especially for me. So I can work on like actually reading my TBR. Oh my god, can I like not delete the whole thing? Is this book magical? Yes. Okay, so it definitely is. So I think this would fit the theme very well. So we have The Isle in the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri. I really want to read this one. I picked this up because of Ellen Catherine here on YouTube. She's a British YouTuber, and I love her. She's just... I get a lot of my, like, romantasy recommendations from her at this point, because she's been getting into a lot of romantasies, and she just read this one, and I'm pretty sure she really loved it. It is, I believe, a sapphic, retelling. Not a retelling. Fantasy book. I haven't even read the synopsis, but I'll read it later after we go through the books, but I'm very excited to read that one. Why am I not putting the prompts in the books already? Let's, like, actually, like, you know, film. It's fucking freezing in my room, by the way. It's so cold on the floor right now. It's really cold out today. All right, let's go ahead and generate our third number. And we have the number 8. Okay. I like doing it this way. It's fun. Sometimes the ads on the freaking spinner wheels can get so fucking annoying, so sometimes a little bit easier this way. Okay, where is number 8? 2... Watch, it's probably on the bottom. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. We have number 8. At least we pick different numbers every time, because I feel like with the spinner wheel, it doesn't do that. I think I put the other one back, but it's fine. It's not like we're going to choose that number again, and I don't even remember which one it was. Okay, so number 8, we have duology. Do I have a duology on... I don't have a duology on my TBR this month because I was going to read a series that has only 2 books out technically, but this would be, that would be kind of cheating. So I'm going to pick a different one from the same envelope again, just because I am going to be reading another series this month because the 3rd book is supposed to come out this month. Alright, I'm picking a different one. I don't want to do this prompt because my game, my rules. I'm sorry. My TBR, my rules. Let's see what the 3rd prompt is in this envelope. Okay, cozy fantasy. Do I want to do that? Yes. I think we do have a cozy fantasy. I mean... I don't know if this one's necessarily considered cozy fantasy. I think this one's a little bit darker than some of his other books. But he is a cozy fantasy author, usually. And I've read a couple of his books, and I would like to read this one. Jesus Christ. One of my friends never stops texting me. It drives me insane. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this book is cozy fantasy. I'm still getting over this cold, as you could tell. It says it has cozy elements, and it is a fantasy, so we're going to go ahead and pick this one. I've been wanting to read this one for quite a while. I could have sworn I added it to the TBR cart. Where is it? Yep, it's right here. Okay, so it's in the back of it as well. So most of the ones that I'm picking are like on the back of the cart because I'm like running out of room. But we have The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune. I've been wanting to get to more of his books for a while. And I want to read, like, all of his standalone books before I read the series that I need to read from him. Because I kind of want to read most of his books. I read House of the Cerulean Sea and Somewhere Beyond the Sea last year. And then my first TJ Klune book was, I think, November of 2024. Yeah, November of 2024, I read Under the Whispering Door, and it was like a 6-star read for me. And then House of Cerulean Sea was a 5-star. The second book was a 4.5. So I really want to read more of his books. So I'm going to pick The Bones Beneath My Skin. This book has been on my TBR for quite a while, so I really want to get to it. So we're doing pretty good with picking physical books so far. So let's go ahead and pick the next one. Because I didn't really have that many Kindle reads on my TBR this month. I had a lot of Kindle reads in December. So let's go ahead and pick the next one. So we have the number 13. Also, I did get through mostly all of my TBR for January, except for the Book of Azrael, because I didn't want to start a new series. And then the other book that I didn't get to is actually my current read right now, because I just got the audiobook like 2 days ago. So this is actually technically the first book that I'm starting in January of 2026 in the new year. But I wanted to see if I could match it with a prompt because I'm currently reading it. So, and it's still on my TBR, but if not, I'll just tell you what I'm reading right now. So, yeah, I did really good with my December TBR, and I read like 21 books to end the year. Somehow, I always read more in December than I do in like November, because Thanksgiving is always more busy for me than Christmas. Even though I did work a lot for Christmas, I still ended up getting through 21 books. So, okay, we got 13 finally. I had a feeling it was like closer to 8 again. Okay, let's go ahead and pick a prompt from this one. Pick this from this side. Okay, so we have demons. Okay, demons. There is a book that is coming out that I can use this prompt for because it's supposed to be coming out January 20th, and we're going to be putting the first 2 books on my TBR for this month because the third book is very highly anticipated by quite a few people. It doesn't have a cover yet, though, which is weird, but it's supposed to come out January 20th, so I'm putting The Lord of Demons by Evan Winter on my TBR. A lot of people have been anticipating this book, and I want to read the first 2 books, which is The Rage of Dragons and The Fires of Vengeance, but we will talk about those later on. So yeah, that's going to be my pick for Demons. So I think that's only... Have we only picked 4 books so far? God, I'm so fucking slow. Alright, let's go ahead and pick the next one. Okay, so we have the number 19, probably because I didn't put the envelopes in order, you know? That was my fault, but whatever. I just got home from work, and I haven't been able to film this. I wasn't able to film this until January 1st, so you get what you get, okay? Alright, so we have number 19, which is right here. And let's go ahead and pick the next one. So let's pick this one. So we have, and I haven't used the envelopes in a while, so I wanted to use them. I always end up picking this damn prompt, dude. We have Author That Intimidates Me. You know what? We can pick the same person. But is that cheating, picking the same author? And picking from the same series. I'm going to pick a different prompt because I pick this prompt so often. And I think we finally actually completed it in December. But I ended up putting it back because I refreshed the jar. And I refreshed the envelopes with I don't think I have any for this one either, which is TikTok viral. I refreshed the envelopes with all the older prompts that I already did because I wanted, since it was the start of a new year, I wanted to refresh the the prompts. Oh, you know what? I do have one for TikTok viral. This one 100% is TikTok viral. So we're going to do TikTok viral. And I have the perfect one. I can't believe I almost didn't pick that because I'm like, dude, this book is everywhere right now. And this series is everywhere. And I'm going to be reading this book in January because I'm dying to watch the TV show. So I figured I would just read the book to watch the TV show and then read the other books as the TV show seasons come out. Can I speak? And that is Heated Rivalry. I'm dying to watch this show, so I really wanted to read the book first. At first I wasn't going to, but I'm like, in order to embrace the full obsession, I have to read the book first. Like, that is such a steamy cover. So, yes, TikTok viral is going to be Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed, and I looked up whether or not you had to read the first book first. And they said technically you didn't have to. You can read Heated Rivalry first. So that's exactly what we're doing. Yay. Okay. I think I did pick another one. No. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I do want to do 3 more. So let's go ahead and generate the next number. And that is 10. So we have 10. Where are you? Where are you, number 10? Why am I doing it this way? 1, 11, 9. Of course, we have 9 and 11, but we don't have 15. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. 10 is, watch, is probably the last number. Yep, it's the last number. Of course. Of course it is. Okay, so we have number 10, and let's go ahead and pick what the next book is going to be. Well, the next prompt, not the next book yet. Okay, so we have, okay, book I've been putting off. I think we're going to select, oh, you know what? We can select this one because I don't know why I haven't read this book yet, and it's so short, and it is my buddy read with Felicia for January. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley. I don't know why I've been putting off this book for so long. It's so short, but for some reason I just haven't gotten to it yet. There's also another one I could pick for this prompt, but I know I'm 100% reading this book this month. So we're going to do Deep Cuts because I've been really wanting to read this for a while, and again, it's such a short book. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it yet. Do you see that all we've picked is hardcover books? So, even better. Okay, let's go ahead and generate, I think this is our 7th number. Okay, I don't know if we already picked 18 before. I can't remember. Go me, only putting 4 back. Actually, let's go ahead and just look at the footage. Hold on. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just see. I don't think I picked this one yet, so I don't know why I didn't put the envelopes back after I freaking picked them, but, you know, that's my bad, because I'm an idiot, but, you know, I'm pretty sure this is the 7th envelope that we need to get. Alright, let's just go ahead. I mean, we'll know if there's only 2 in the envelope. No, there's 3. Alright, maybe I didn't, or maybe there was 4 in this envelope. I'm not really sure. But we're going to go ahead and pick. Okay, we got a fantasy. We got a fantasy, you guys. So, again, I could pick multiple ones for this. I think I am going to pick, yeah. I think I am going to pick this one. Unless this one is not romantasy. Let me see. If this one is not just romantasy, I might pick this one instead, because again, but if it is mostly romantasy, then I'm going to pick the first book in The Rage of Dragons. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is a high fantasy. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to pick this one because I've been wanting to read this since I bought it. I mean, I bought it in December, so it's not that old, but it is a 2025 release, and that is Dawn of the Firebird by Sarah Mughal Rana. Daughter, assassin, traitor, savior. I'm just so in the mood for like YA fantasy, anything high fantasy. Just give it to me right now, and it's such a pretty book. So, yeah, I don't know why they didn't put end paper art in it though, but it's just so pretty. And I heard about this book because of, I believe, Cassidy Shivers here on YouTube. It's another one of my favorite book channels. And yeah, so we're going to pick that one. And then let's go ahead and generate our last number. Where'd it go? Where did it go? No. I have to go back to it. God damn it. I could have... No, it's right here. Okay, let's go ahead and generate our last number. 17. Okay, underwhelming, but let's go ahead and pick 17. Because I thought it was going to give me, like a different number or something. I didn't know that was high fantasy. I thought it was romantasy, but hey, that makes it even better. Okay, 17. I'm getting hungry because I haven't had dinner yet. Because I got home from work like an hour ago. Okay, let's go ahead and pick out of 17. Alright, let's just pick this one. I don't really care which prompt I pick at this point. Okay, book that ends in odd number of pages. Okay, this prompt is fun. I like this one. Wait, I did put 18 back already. Okay, let's not do that. Book that ends in odd number of pages. So let's go ahead and see for some of the standalones that I have. Well, not standalones. They're kind of starting new series, but there's only one book out. So let's check the Crimson Throne. Okay, this one ends in 343 pages. Sometimes I want to search a little bit more to see, like, if I can find a different one. Because, like, I got pretty lucky when I got this one the first time. This one has, let's check 7 Deadly Thorns. This one I believe is nope, it's an odd number as well. Okay, so they both have an odd number of pages. Because the epilogue's only 1 page. I mean, we're going to read both of them regardless. So I'm going to pick The Crimson Throne by Sarah Raish and Beth Davis just because this was the first one I picked. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and pick that one. We picked 6 hardcover books, you guys. 6 hardcover books because these are a lot of the new books that I picked up recently. And actually we picked 3 new ones and 3 old ones. And then we picked 2 other ones that I don't have the physical copy. So that's fun. Now let's go ahead and go through the ones I picked. The heaviest TBR stack that I've done for myself in like a while. So we have these 6 books that are going to go on the January TBR. So we have Dawn of the Firebird for high fantasy. We have book that I've been putting off, which is Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley. We have Cozy Fantasy, which is The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune. We have Isle of the Silver Sea, which is the pick for Magical. We have, put that back, New York Times bestseller, The Women by Kristen Hanna. Of course, I had a feeling that this would be a New York Times bestseller. Let's put those over there. And then the last one is The Crimson Throne for a book with odd number of pages. And then we have TikTok Viral, which is going to be Heated Rivalry. So excited for this one. And then Demons, we have the 3rd book in the Rage of Dragons series. So let's go ahead, well, it's called the Burning series, and talk about those first 2 books first because we're 100% reading these in January. Also because these books have just been on my TBR for so freaking long that I want to read these so badly. And like I said, well, one of my goals for 2026 is to read even more high fantasy because I read quite a few a few. Like a handful, honestly, in 2025, which is still good. I still got to quite a few that I've been wanting to read for a while, but now we're going to try and read even more high fantasy in 2026. So we have The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter, and we have The Fires of Vengeance, also by Evan Winter. So we're going to put the first two books on my TBR for January as well. So let's go ahead and read some of the synopsises for these. So The Crimson Throne says, betray your country or betray your heart. Samson Calthorpe's curse has isolated him from everyone he has ever cared about. So when the opportunity arises to break the curse, he grabs it. All he has to do for his freedom is risk his life and become a royal spy, using every bit of the skill and resolve he's picked up on the streets of London to infiltrate the court of the Scottish Queen and uncover a plot to assassinate Queen Elizabeth. That's all I'm going to read right now. But since I was able to read Night of the Witch and The Fate of Magic in 2025, I really wanted to read another one of their collaboration books, and this is their newest release. And I really enjoyed both of those books, so I really want to read that one. The Women, we're not even going to read the synopsis. This just takes place during the Vietnam War, and I know it's going to be devastating, but I'm in the mood to be devastated, because I actually haven't been devastated by a book in quite a while. I haven't really cried in books lately. You know, because so much stuff happened in my real life that made me cry that I kind of wanted to read books that didn't make me cry, but now I'm kind of in the mood to be devastated. So Chris and Hannah always makes me cry. So, and I heard that book's really sad. And then The Isle of the Silver Sea by Tasha Siri. I haven't read this synopsis yet. I'm so excited to read this book though. This one says, two lovers endure centuries of endings in World Fantasy Award winning authors. Oh my god, I can't speak. Two lovers endure centuries of endings, heart-shattering romantasy of sapphic longing, medieval folklore, and a love that spans lifetimes. In an England fueled by stories, the knight and the witch are fated to fall in love and doom each other over and over. The same tale retold over hundreds of lifetimes. I guess this could have been a witchy romance, but it's okay. This is more magical anyway. That's all I want to read. I'm so excited for this one. I think that this one's going to be a really good one. Okay, then I want to read the synopsis for Dawn of the Firebird, because I don't think I have. It says, the raven, crane, and firebird each choose a tribe of man, granting humans heavenly magic. But powers in man's hand caused endless wars for land. With mankind's destruction, the birds perish, taking with them their magic. Magic is now rare, war common. That sounds so good. I've seen some mixed reviews about this, but I'm excited about it, so I think it's going to be a good time. And then next up we have The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune. TJ Klune also tends to make me cry as well. This one says, in the spring of 1995, Nate Cartwright has lost everything. His parents are dead, his only brother wants nothing to do with him, and he's been fired from his job as a journalist in Washington, D.C. Not going to read anything else. I love his writing, so I'm very excited to read this. I've had this on my TBR for a little while already. I think quite a few months. And then we have Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley. This one is about, I believe, two musicians. This is more general fiction. It says, it's a Friday night in a campus bar in Berkeley, fall of 2000, and Percy Marx is pontificating about music again. Hall & Oates is on the jukebox, and Percy, who has no talent for music, just lots of opinions about it, can't stop herself from overanalyzing the song, indulging what she knows to be her most annoying habit. But something is different tonight. The guy beside her at the bar, fellow student Joe Morrow, is a songwriter, and he could listen to Percy talk all night. I'm just really in the mood for something like this. And again, it's so short. I found out about this book from Haley Pham on YouTube. She gave it a 5-star. Okay, and then the book I'm currently reading is Bitten by Jordan Stephanie Gray. I'm not going to put this back on the cart because I want to have room for other books that we're going to be reading. We only have like a couple more that we're putting on the cart. And basically this is a werewolf. It's not werewolf vampire. It's a werewolf YA fantasy romance, I guess. And a little sapphic too. So far I've been really enjoying it. I just started it. I just got up to part 2 today. Which is chapter 7, page like 50. ish, because I've only been listening to the audiobook because I didn't have a chance to physically read yet today. Because I just came home and immediately filmed my TBR video because that's all I wanted to do. Did I pick out a different one? No. That one just fell in my lap before. Okay. Anyway, and then we have the Rage of Dragons and the Fires of Vengeance. Again, I'm so excited to read these. So these are 100% going on the cart. I've been wanting to read these for forever. The jar is in the way. So much maneuvering sometimes, I swear to God. I don't think these are going to fall anytime soon because we have a lot of physical books on the TBR this month. Okay, and there's only like 2 more, right? Or maybe, yeah, 2 more. We have 7 Deadly Thrones that I would really like to read this month, and this one's by Amber Hamilton. I just picked this one up with my friend, with one of my gift cards for Christmas because 2 of my friends gifted me Barnes & Noble gift cards, and then my sister gifted me a Barnes & Noble gift card as well, so I picked up a couple of books, and this was one of them, and I really want to read it. I also picked up these 2 books with my other friend. Wait, actually, I picked up The Isle in the Silver Sea and this book with my gift card. So this one says, Viola Sinclair has hidden her shadow magic her whole life. Discovery means certain death. For the kingdom of Aragoa, dark magic is forbidden. When the queen finds out Viola's secret, she sends the royal assassin to kill her. He is given a cursed tattoo, 7 thorns on his arm. For the 7 days he has to complete his deadly task. If he fails, he will be the one to die. Okay, I thought this had like some kind of Snow White retelling in it, but I'm excited. I'm excited to read this. It was intriguing me when I saw it at Barnes the last time, so I'm like, okay. And it's not on Kindle Unlimited, so I was like, I'm picking it up. I didn't have to pay for books lately, so I'm like, I want to pick up the books that I really wanted to. And then literally there's only one other physical book that I want to read. It's in my drawer. I'm just gonna grab it at the end of this so I don't have to get up. Okay, so there are just like 3 new releases besides the 3rd book in The Rage of Dragons. There's also just 3 thrillers that are coming out, and January, February are usually like the big time for thriller releases to come out. Oh my god, what is up with my fucking phone? Okay, so I definitely want to read this one. I've been very excited for this one. When I saw the teaser like post for this on John Mars's Instagram, I'm like, I instantly want to read this. I'm so excited to read this, and then I can get to more of my thrillers this year because really I'm only into thrillers like more so in like January and October. I again didn't really read that many in 2025, maybe like 10 to 15 tops. So this one is called Dead in the Water by John Mars, and John Mars is one of my favorite thriller authors that I've read so far. I've only read 2 of his books, but You Killed Me First was so good. That was his new release last year, and I read that last year, and I read What Lies Between Us back in like 2024. So I end up getting to like one of his books to like every year, but I'm very excited to read this one. And this one comes out January 20th. There's like so many coming out on January 20th, can I speak? This one says, a chilling tale about life flashing before your eyes, including terrifying scenes you don't remember. When Damon survives a near drowning, his life flashes before his eyes. Every memory is crystal clear except one, a dead boy. A face he can't place, a moment he doesn't remember living. At first, he tells himself it's a trick of the mind, but everything else he saw was real, so why not this? With his waking life stalked by the disturbing scene, confusion quickly turns to obsession. Desperate for answers, Damon digs into his fractured past and becomes convinced that the only way to remember is to die again, and again, and again. When he meets a perfect stranger who's all too willing to help, the stage is set for his dice with death. But if this is what it takes to uncover the truth, maybe some memories are better left buried. That sounds so fucking good. I can't wait. Okay, and then next up is, it was so funny like seeing John Mars's posts about when he was releasing this book, because then uh two other big authors, like really popular authors, said that they were releasing books on the same day. I think possibly Frida moved hers, because now it says the 27th. I don't know if she moved it just because John Mars said that. I have no idea. But Frida's coming out with her new book called Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden. And this one comes out January 27th, apparently. With Frida, it's kind of hit and miss. Her last thriller that came out last February was freaking awful. That was like my least favorite book by her, which was The Crash. But I guess we'll see how this one is. It's a sickness. I still have to read all of her new releases. So this one says, sometimes enough is enough. Debbie Mullen is losing it. For years, she has complied all of her best advice into her column, Dear Debbie, where the wives of New England come for sympathy and neighborly advice. Through her work, Debbie has heard from countless women who are ignored, belittled, or even abused by their husbands. I don't know if I'm going to love this, because, like, the way that she portrayed, like, those types of themes in The Crash, like, kind of really pissed me off at some points. Like, not in a... Like, it's not where you were, like, super angry for, like, the victim, but it was more so, like, she was almost, like, not depicting it properly, and it was, like, pissing me off. But, I don't know, we'll see. All of her books are on Kindle Unlimited anyway. And Debbie does her best to guide them in the right direction, or at least she did. These days, Debbie's life seems to be spiraling out of control. She just lost her job, something strange is happening with her teenage daughters, and her husband is keeping secrets according to the tracking app she installed on his phone. Now Debbie's done being the bigger person. She's done being reasonable and practical. It's time to take her own advice, and now it's time for payback against all the people in her life who deserve it the most. So, we'll see how that is. Okay, and then the last one, I believe, is Alice Feeney's new release. And you guys know how much I loved Alice Feeney's writing last year. She had, like, my only 5-star thriller of 2025 until I read Stephen King's... Well, I'm not going to tell you guys. I got to it, but who knows if I read it or not. You guys will see it in my... Well, actually, you're going to see the vlog anyway. Until I read Stephen King's Billy Summers, I finally read that damn book. I know, I finally read it. Wow, Alice Feeney does not have that many books out, actually. I didn't know that. Okay, so her release is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. So, I guess it was... Oh my god, can I speak? I don't have this on my want to read. This one also comes out January 20th, so it comes out the same day as John Mars's book. But I enjoyed her book so much when I read Rock, Paper, Scissors and Beautiful Ugly last year. I love her writing, and she's also a British author, so... Arthur. Why can I not say Arthur or author? When I say author, I say Arthur. When I was trying to say the name of the next dog that we get, 'cause since we have Merlin, my mom wants to name our next corgi Arthur. I almost said author. So we would have Merlin and Arthur. I kept on saying author when I said to one of my friends, like, well, we're going to name him. So I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay. So this one says, Eden Fox, an artist on the brink of her big break, sets off for a run before her first exhibition. When she returns to the home she recently moved into, Spyglass, an enchanting old house in Hope Falls, nothing is as it should be. Her key doesn't fit. A woman eerily similar to her answers the door, and her husband insists that the stranger is his wife. One house, one husband, two women. Someone is lying. 6 months earlier, a reclusive Londoner called Bertie, Reeling from a life-changing diagnosis, inherits spyglass. This unexpected gift from a long-lost grandmother brings her to the pretty seaside of a seaside fall of Hope Falls, I mean. But then Bertie stumbles upon a shadowy London clinic that claims to be able to predict a person's date of death, including her own. What? Secrets start to unravel, and as the line between truth and lies blur, Bertie feels compelled to right some old wrongs. Oh my god, that is why her concepts are freaking wild. And it sounds similar to like the concept of Beautiful Ugly, cuz but that was like the guy trying to find his wife and whether or not he killed his wife or not. Like that was like, and then he finds someone that looks exactly like her. So now this is kind of like already telling you that like the wife found someone exactly like her, and the husband is claiming that that's his wife. Oh my god. I didn't have this on my want to read before for January, but now I'm going to have to read that. That sounds insanely good. Oh my god, her books are so good. I'm probably going to get the audiobook. Cuz the audiobook for Beautiful Ugly was my favorite audiobook of 2025 because it had sound effects. And I could not stop thinking about how chilling that book was. It was so fucking good. I changed it recently to a 5-star because I'm like, I think about that book almost every single day after I read it. So I think I definitely need to read this. Okay. Then we only have 3 more to talk about, right? Yeah, we only have 3 more. So the other one that I really wanted to read in December, but I just didn't end up having time to read it. And my book bestie Felicia really wants me to read this book. And that is called The River is Waiting by Wally Lamb. She got this recommendation from, I think I talked about it in December. I just didn't get to it. She got this rec from one of our book besties named Christine. She actually cuts my hair. And I met her because of Felicia, because she came to Silent Book Club, and then I saw her to cut my hair. And she's awesome. And she recommended this book to Felicia, and then Felicia read it, and they both Felicia gave it 6 stars. I think Christina, I'm not sure. I know she gave it at least a 5-star. So I really want to read this. I don't really want to read the synopsis because it's a prison story. It sounds freaking wild, but I'm like, I haven't really read like that many prison story books besides like some of Freedom McFadden's books, but I want to read something that like is more so like general fiction, because you guys know how much I love general fiction books at this point. Why did that get blurry all of a sudden? That was weird. I'll read a little bit of it. It says Corey Ledbetter is struggling. New fatherhood, the loss of his job, and a growing secret addiction have thrown his marriage to his beloved Emily into a tailspin. And that's before he causes the tragedy that tears the family apart. I'm going to read this on Libby, by the way, so I'm not going to buy the physical book. Sentenced to prison, Corby, but I might just borrow Felicia's too. But I want to read a couple things on my Kindle this month at least. Corby struggles to survive on the inside, where he bears witness to frightful acts of brutality, but also experiences small acts of kindness and elemental kinship with a prison librarian who sees his light, and some of his fellow offenders, including a tender-hearted cellmate and a troubled teen desperate for a role model. Okay, that's all I want to read, because even though it's only like 2 more sentences, I just don't feel like reading it anymore. Okay, then the next one, I don't know why I've had this book on my TBR for so long, and I wanted something like a little bit lighter, besides, all these fantasy books and some of these heavier thriller books. I'm like, I kind of really want to like throw like a romance kind of in there, besides Heated Rivalry. So we have Catherine Center's The Bodyguard. For some reason, I have not read this freaking book by Catherine Center yet. And this one's on Kindle Unlimited. It's been sitting on my Kindle for quite a long time. I need to read it because you guys know how much I love Catherine Center's books. I think I've read like 7 at this point. I didn't read as many by her last year. I think I only read the rom-comers, which I listened to the audiobook because everybody said to listen to the audiobook, and it's so good because she narrates it. And I read The Love Haters, which was her new release for 2025. So I really need to read this book. I'm not reading the synopsis because, and also Felicia's been pushing me to read this. So I'm going to be reading The River is Waiting, The Bodyguard, and The Women. And those are all books she's been wanting me to read. So, okay. And then the last book, I'm just going to grab it really quick and then we're going to be done. So this TBR video is actually not as long as I thought. So let me just grab it. Okay, and then the last book that I really want to read this month is Voyage of the Dam by Frances White. I've had this book for so long. It's such a beautiful book. Tell me why I still haven't read this. I'm just so in the mood for like a ship kind of water fantasy with mermaids. Like, give me mermaids because I'm dying to read something like that. And again, this edition is just so beautiful. I've had this book for I think over a year and I still have not read it. So I think it's time. So I'm just in the mood for it and I really want to read it. And I love how he picked the exact perfect amount to put on the cart. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hardback, 9 hardback physical books this month. So they're not like too heavy. Like if something's like a hardback like this that's like kind of thin, I'll buy it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at STBW819 and check out my Goodreads as well. And my TikTok, I post a lot of book content over there. And I post every single review of every single book I read on my Goodreads. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, night, whatever, wherever you are, I mean. And keep reading and let me know if you've read any of these books or if you're going to be reading any of these books this month. Let me know. And yeah, I actually already finished my first book for 2026 because I was like about 85% into it already the last day of the year. But since I went out last night to just see some of my friends, I didn't finish it till this morning. But honestly, it already counted as finishing a book the first day of the year. I did the same thing last year with the matzo ball. I didn't end up reading any Hanukkah books this time in December, but I read like 6 Christmas books. So, which you saw in the vlog, which was the last video that I posted before this. I'm going to have quite a few videos to post this month, but I really wanted to film my TBR video obviously first. But I did finish the last book in the When in Rome series. When in Rome series by Sarah Adams. I just finished it this morning. So I already finished a book. And it was so cute. I really wanted to finish this and finish a series already at the start of the year. So that was great. So yeah, that's it. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye. Keep reading.